Well, hi, Nydia.
Hello, Lisa. It's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you. I'm thrilled today to have you participate in a Bold Broads interview. And I want to just invite you to introduce yourself to everybody who's watching today. What would you like to say about yourself?
I am a TV journalist, a wife, a mom, the creator of hashtag This is America, an investigator, and I'd like to think most of the time an optimist.
I love that. I love that. So tell me, Nydia, what in your mind makes somebody bold?
Someone is bold when she steps outside of her comfort zone, when she does something that feels scary and challenging and uncomfortable because she thinks it's going to make an impact, a worthy impact on our community or on our world.
Beautiful. And what makes you bold?
Huh. I mean, first of all, it's really generous. I've said this to you before that you include me in this category of bold. I don't think that um, when I describe myself, it's a word that I use. So I appreciate that. I certainly take it as a compliment. I think that if I'm connecting with my definition of bold for other people, what makes me bold is that I have been willing to be vulnerable and I've opened myself up to criticism and judgment in order to have a conversation about race and racism and being an American that I think is really important. And I really wanted to share my story and my experience of what it's like for an Asian American to be an American. And I knew that if I wanted to share my story and invite other people to share theirs, I needed to be really authentic and really true. And so I did that, but I was a little worried about doing it. And I it was outside of my comfort zone. I mean, I'm a journalist. I'm used to telling other people's stories. So to share my own was unusual for me, and it felt a little uncomfortable.
Well, I want to give the people who are watching this a little bit of context. I think you're talking about the hashtag This is America. So can you give us a quick synopsis of what that is and how that connects with your boldness?
Sure. So 2 years ago, I was crossing the street and a driver almost hit me. And then as she drove off, she yelled, "This is America." And that made me think that she did not see or think that a face like mine could belong to that of an American. And after years of having had other similar incidents in which I felt othered, I responded. And I responded in a live Facebook video that ended up going viral. And when I looked at the comments and the fact that this little minor incident and response got 3 million views, I decided that I couldn't leave the conversation there. So I asked some of the people who had commented on all sides to talk to me on camera. And I recorded those conversations and produced a docu-series that I also hashtag This is America. So that's the conversation.
Beautiful.
And it for me from what I normally do. So I'm a consumer investigative reporter and a news anchor. That's my primary hat. And this is a passion project that I've been pursuing.
Beautiful. So what's the boldest thing that you've ever done?
I think the boldest thing I've ever done is my TEDx talk. I was so nervous, and that was so outside of my comfort zone. I mean, it's funny because a lot of people asked why I was so nervous. They said, "You speak for a living." And I said, "But not in this way and not in this format." So I speak for a living, but again, I tell other people's stories. And I usually, frankly, have a teleprompter. So when we're anchoring the news, we ad lib here and there and ask questions, and that's ad lib. But I'm not speaking for 15 minutes straight. And the TEDx talks are carefully crafted and frankly scripted. And so I was really, really nervous about presenting that and also just not forgetting what came next and what, I wanted to say next. So I think that was probably the boldest thing I've done.
So that TED Talk sounds amazing. Nydia, what's the title of your TED Talk?
We called it Why I'm Rethinking My Viral Video.
Great. And I will put a link to that in the notes below. I love it. I love it. I need to say this because not everybody knows that you are not only a bold role model for me, but also one of my oldest, nearest, and dearest friends. And so I've witnessed this bold journey, and it's always amazing to me. Again, I'm even thinking about how proud I am of you. So Bold and proud, sister. Yeah.
You know that motivation is you.
No,
And
well,
so in my book, there's no one as bold as you. As bold and badass as you, Lisa.
all right. So what is something bold that you've always wanted to do, but you haven't done yet?
Really like to do stand-up comedy. Just kidding. That would not be bold. That would be tragic. Um, I have some projects that I'm really excited about that I think are bold. I'd really like to write a book series, and I don't want to give all the details of that now, but I'm excited about that. And you know, I've always worked for someone else, and recently for big media outlets. I would love at some point to do what you're doing, which is to go out on my own and see if I can start my own business someday, right?
Awesome. You're going to rock it. So what's your advice for somebody who wants to be bold?
I think my advice for someone who wants to be bold would be to surround yourself with people you trust and a village, whether they're friends or colleagues or family, but people whom you know will applaud you when you succeed, but also pick you up if you fail and fall. Because I think it's a lot easier to be bold if you know that you have these people around you who, no matter what happens with your bold journey, will be there for you at the end. And I think that for me, and in anything that I do, gives me a lot of comfort when I think that I'm doing something daring or bold, that's taking a risk.
I love it. I love it. The importance of a safety net, right? And having that support is so important in making bold steps. So there's a lot of things that I know people are going to want to find out more about. What is the best way for people to get in touch with you and learn more about your work?
I have my own website. It's nydiahan.com. And so that's the best place to connect with me, to see, you know, the latest things that I'm doing. Next week, I'm actually going to be at the Clinton Foundation in Little Rock, Arkansas at the World Women Summit. And the theme is hashtag redefining rules. So I'm really excited about that. And I hope that even if you can't attend the summit in Little Rock, I hope that you'll participate online. We're going to be doing a lot of social media around the event. And I know that some of the content from the event will be online later. So I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. And is it okay with you if I post a link to your website and to your amazing TED Talk in the notes below the interview?
I would be honored, Lisa.
Wonderful. All right, Nydia, thank you so much for your time and your inspiration. Love having you as one of my very early guests on the Bold Bras interviews, and you'll be back in touch very soon.